Okay, let's continue part 2 from chapter 11. Your subconscious mind is a partner in success. Immersing yourself in this routine allows the words to resonate more deeply, and each repetition strengthens your conviction and belief in the desired outcome. If you find yourself struggling to articulate what you truly desire, it may be a sign that you have not yet developed the hunger or motivation necessary to take action. The key is to recognize the importance of persistence and patience in this journey. Just as one would never set a strict time limit for a baby to learn to walk. Understanding that the process takes as long as it needs, you must approach your personal growth and manifestation in the same way. Embrace the process of change and growth one step at a time. Consistent practice and unwavering determination will eventually lead you toward realizing your goals, just as a child learns to walk through steady, incremental progress. How to become successful in buying and selling. Remember that your conscious mind is the starter, and your subconscious mind is the motor. You must start the motor to enable it to perform its work. Your conscious mind is the dynamo that awakens the power of your subconscious mind. The first step in conveying your clarified desire, idea, or image to the deeper mind is to relax. Immobilize the attention, get still, and be quiet. This quiet, relaxed, and peaceful attitude of mind prevents extraneous matter and false ideas from interfering with your mental absorption of your ideal. Furthermore, in the quiet, passive, and receptive attitude of mind, effort is reduced to a minimum. The second step is to begin to imagine the reality of that which you desire. For example, you may wish to buy a home, and in your relaxed state of mind, affirm as follows: "The infinite intelligence of my subconscious mind is all-wise. It reveals to me now the ideal home, which is central, ideal is in a lovely environment, meets all my requirements, and is commensurate with my income. I am now turning this request over to my subconscious mind, and I know it responds according to the nature of my request. I release this request with absolute faith and confidence in the same way that a farmer deposits a seed in the ground, trusting implicitly in the laws of growth. The answer to your prayer may come through an advertisement in the paper, through a friend, or you may be guided directly to a particular home, which is exactly what you are seeking. There are many ways by which your prayer, or let me reiterate, through empowering thoughts, also may be answered. The principal knowledge in which you may place your confidence is that the answer always comes, provided you trust the working of your deeper mind. You may wish to sell a home, land, or any kind of property. In a private consultation with real estate brokers, Joseph Murphy shares, "I have told them of the way I sold my own home on Orlando Avenue in Los Angeles. Many of them have applied the technique I used with remarkable and speedy results. I placed a sign which read, 'For sale by owner' in the garden in front of my home. The day after, I said to myself as I was going to sleep, 'Supposing you sold your house, what would you do?' I answered my own question, and I said, 'I would take that sign down and throw it into the garage.' In my imagination, I took hold of the sign, pulled it up from the ground, placed it on my shoulder, went to the garage, threw it on the floor, and said jokingly to the sign, 'I don't need you anymore.' I felt the inner satisfaction of it all, realizing it was finished. The next day, a man gave me a deposit of $1,000 and said to me, 'Take your sign down. It will go into escrow now.' Immediately, I pulled the sign up and took it to the garage. The outer action conformed to the inner. There is nothing new about this. As within, so without. Meaning, according to the image impressed on your subconscious mind, so it is on the objective screen of your life. In a previous video, I mentioned this is how we bought our dream home. A different way, but very similar. And to figure, there were 3 other offers before us, and they were all refused by their banks the finances to purchase the home. Now, here's a reflection for you. Is it possible they were thinking it wasn't meant for them? Were they doubting they wouldn't get it? Or maybe they said, 'It's too expensive for us anyway.' Or they said to themselves, 'The banks will never lend us the money.' Again, doubting will stop the process. Many of us are doubters because of negative programming. Watch out for friends who will discourage you from attaining your dreams. That's a huge one. The outside mirrors the inside. External action follows internal action. Here's another very popular method used in selling homes, land, or any kind of property. Affirm slowly, quietly, and feelingly as follows: "Infinite intelligence attracts to me the buyer for this home who wants it and who prospers in it." This buyer is being sent to me by the creative intelligence of my subconscious mind, which makes no mistakes. This buyer may look at many other homes, but mine is the only one he wants and will buy, because he is guided by the infinite intelligence within him. I know the buyer is right, the time is right, and the price is right. Everything about it is right. You can manifest a million things, just change the item, event, or whatever you desire. These are just a few examples. The deeper currents of my subconscious mind are now in operation, bringing both of us together in divine order. I know that it is so. Remember always that what you are seeking is also seeking you. Please read that again. What you are seeking is also seeking you. And whenever you want to sell a home or property of any kind, there is always someone who wants what you have to offer. By using the powers of your subconscious mind correctly, you free your mind of all sense of competition and anxiety in buying and selling. Okay, let's move on to our next story. How she succeeded in getting what she desired. Joseph Murphy mentioned this story. Listen to this one. It's amazing. There is a young lady who regularly comes to my lectures and classes. She had to change buses 3 times. It took her 1.5 hours each time to come to the lectures. In one lecture, I explained how a young man who needed a car in his work received one. She went home and experimented as outlined in my lecture. Here is her letter in part, narrating her application of my method and published by her permission. Dear Dr. Murphy, this is how I received a Cadillac car. I desired one to come to the lectures regularly. In my imagination, I went through the identical process I would go through if I were actually driving a car. I went to the showroom, and the salesman took me for a ride in one. I also drove it several blocks. I claimed the Cadillac car as my own over and over again. Kept the mental picture of getting into the car, driving it, feeling the upholstery, etc., consistently for over 2 weeks. Last week I drove to your lectures in a Cadillac. My uncle in Inglewood passed away and left me his Cadillac and his entire estate. Could you have predicted this in a million years on how this car was manifested? Did she need money to buy this car? Remember, the universe is powerful. I use this method all the time for my personal vehicles. It definitely works. Now here's a success technique employed by many outstanding executives and businessmen. There are many prominent businessmen who quietly use the abstract term, success, over and over many times a day until they reach a conviction that success is theirs. They know that the idea of success contains all the essential elements of success. Likewise, you can begin now to repeat the word success to yourself with faith and conviction. Your subconscious mind will accept it as true of you, and you will be under a subconscious compulsion to succeed. Here's a quote I love, Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be thee transformed by the renewing of your mind. At first, it required conscious effort, but with continued practice, the process became increasingly effortless and natural. Immersing yourself in this routine allows the words to resonate more deeply, and each repetition strengthens your conviction and belief in the desired outcome. Here's a great quote, Mark 11:24. Therefore I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you will have them. You are compelled to express your subjective beliefs, impressions, and convictions. What does success imply to you? You desire, undoubtedly, to be successful in your home life and in your relationship with others. You wish to be outstanding in your chosen work or profession. You wish to possess a beautiful home and all the money you need to live comfortably and happily. You desire to be successful in your prayer life or use empowering words and in your contact with the powers of your subconscious mind. You are compelled to express your subjective beliefs, impressions, and convictions. What does success imply to you? You desire, undoubtedly, to be successful in your home life and in your relationship with others. You wish to be outstanding in your chosen work or profession. You wish to possess a beautiful home and all the money you need to live comfortably and happily. Maybe to simply find joy, your soulmate, become a pro hockey player, an author, a painter. Best start practicing now. The sooner you start, the sooner you get there. Next, Chapter 12, Scientists Use the Subconscious Mind. Remember to like, share, and subscribe with someone who might be in need of encouragement. Cheers.